Vibes of India. I'm Janvi, and after over 2 years of COVID and a dearth of opportunities to travel and attend events, we finally have something very exciting. I'm talking about Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games, and I'm sitting with Vishal Bhatia, the country manager for VisitBritain in India. Today we are going to learn about what's the event all about, how many Indians can we expect at the games, and what is the thing all about. Yeah. Welcome Vishal to Vibes of India.
Thank you, John.
So Vishal, can you please brief us about this Commonwealth Games?
So firstly, I think what's important to understand is Britain is open.
Yeah.
The COVID restrictions that were existing for a while now are all gone.
Yeah.
And if you're vaccinated, passengers do not need any testing requirements. You just fill in a passenger locator form, which is a simplified form now, and you can travel freely to the UK.
Yeah.
So I think when it comes to the Commonwealth Games, they're happening from the 28th of July to the 8th of August this year. And it's going to happen in Birmingham, which is part of the West Midlands, which we're obviously promoting with consumers and the travel trade in India. It's about encouraging and enticing, visitors when they travel to the UK next time they go there, to try and experience some of the new things that you can experience in the West Midlands. There's a number of experiences to be had which are new. These are a lot of unexplored places, and that's what we're trying to basically promote over here.
Okay. So are there any specific elements of Commonwealth Games that we can highlight here?
Well, there are actually two firsts that have happened with around the Commonwealth Games this time. One is there's women's cricket. We all know India has a strong women's cricket team. So I would hope and keep my fingers crossed that we get some, the medal there.
Yeah.
But I think it's the first time women's cricket is happening at the Commonwealth Games. And it was also the first time in February when you had the Queen's Baton relay, which has generally gone only to Commonwealth countries. It's gone out to the UAE in Dubai earlier in Feb this year. So these are two firsts that we've seen. It is the games that is, aiming to be the most sustainable, self-sustaining games in the history of the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
So.
And I also came across some data which says that Indians are one of the top countries which would, spend or visit the country. So is it true? Like, can you brief us about this?
It is. So, look, anecdotally, we know that there is a diaspora of 1.6 million Indians living in the UK. And I think that's a huge draw when you're looking at visiting friends and relatives, which is a huge market for us from India, especially from, Gujarat, Punjab, these certain states where you've got a high percentage of family living there. And I think there is that opportunity which we would expect where people would go to meet their families, and you can combine it by going out to the West Midlands, experiencing some of the, sports that are happening around the Commonwealth Games, and have a great time there.
True. And this is also going to be a big boom from the travel industry, not just of Gujarat, but of India, because for over 2 years, there were the travel was not feasible. So what would you want to say about all those people who are finally going back, or the travel agents or the travel industry as such?
Look, I think we've seen there's a huge pent-up demand. We know what we're calling as revenge travel that is taking place at the moment in the country, and flights have been pretty full. When they are going into England, Scotland or Wales now, I think that's what we're talking about, the new experiences that one can go to, so whether you're looking at going as a family to Birmingham, you could go experience Cadbury World, see the factory, how a chocolate is made, make a chocolate yourself. You could go and do the JLR experience, which is the Jaguar Land Rover experience in Solihull. You can do the Bear Grylls experience in the West Midlands as well. If you're a whiskey person, you could go up to the Scottish Highlands, do some whiskey tours. So there's loads that's happening, and a lot of it is also been, new experiences that have come up during this time. So
true. And after the third wave, that we can say that Gujarat finally has around, say, 100 to 200 COVID cases per day. Do you think that the world has finally come to a place where we can just learn to stay with COVID?
Well, it's hard to look at a crystal ball to say that, but we can only hope that the worst is behind us and things open up as we move along.
True. And along with travelers, along with COVID, there are also students who would want to look for opportunities when it comes to education in UK. So what do you have to say about that? Like our colleges, looking forward to welcome Indian students, Gujarati students?
Absolutely. I think colleges are looking at welcoming Indian students. In fact, last year, I know student numbers have gone up as well of, people from India going over there to pursue further studies. I think subsequently there's also a market then where we see the parents or the families go to meet their kids. They travel around the country. and that also for us is extremely, important in terms of a demographic that we've.
True, true. And when we are talking about Gujarat, I think the primary thing about everything that happens in Gujarat is business.
Yeah.
So if there is anything, when it comes to say business opportunities or work opportunities for Gujaratis or for Indians in UK,
Well, I think it goes from sector to sector, right? Because we know people are traveling on business to the UK. In fact, our statistics from 2019, they do suggest that it's about 1/3 of people that go from India go there for leisure. A third of them go there to meet with, families and friends.
yeah,
And another third goes for business.
yeah,
So there is a big business opportunity. We know one of the biggest trading partners is India, and the UK is huge. So yes, there is loads of opportunities from a
true
business perspective.
And coming back to Commonwealth Games, if you can just guide people on if there are people who would want to attend it, like how do they help themselves with?
So you can basically look at buying your tickets on Birmingham2022.com, which is the website, the official website to buy your tickets from.
Okay.
And that's where you can actually pre-book. There is the raffle that's on at the moment. So, it's important to book early.
Okay.
And then make your arrangements as well, because you need to get your travel arrangements in terms of flights, visas, etc. in place, plan an itinerary out. And that's important that you try to do it as soon as possible.
Okay. Is there anything special that they should take care of? Like anything else?
So I think what's important to understand is UK is probably the most open country at the moment
now,
in terms
yes,
of restrictions.
please.
So that's what you should keep in mind.
I hope more people from Gujarat, from India, attend this event. I mean, I'm sure most Indians are just waiting to visit UK. Yes, thank you for sharing the information. And yes, for more such interviews, for more such stories, keep watching Vibes of India. Thank you.